YouTube, what's going on? The NFL. I don't even know what to make of this league anymore. We not even gonna waste no time. We're just gonna jump right in and talk about it. I'll be back in a second.
Sorry, Mose couldn't be here, but he doing the Mrs. Mosley thing right now. You know, they're out doing. They're enjoying Valentine's Day is what I was trying to say.
I got you.
Y'all the worst.
You don't know nothing, you don't know nothing, you don't know nothing.
Mose knows.
You don't know nothing, you don't know nothing, but I know that.
Mose knows.
You don't know nothing, you don't know nothing, but I know that.
Mose knows.
You don't know nothing, you don't know nothing, but I know that.
Mose knows.
Mose know it all. Mose know it all. I guarantee real takes, ain't no faking that at all. If you don't know, you gon' know. Mose knows, tune into the show. Not a game, nitty gritty, ready go committee. Mose should be the CEO. Too solid, too real, too 100. I'ma keep it real when you don't. Just that real gold talk. 24 karat words. San Francisco 49er fam. Realest squad on the earth. The 5 God, number 5, taking us to 6. Young killer Trey Lance. New era, new season. Mose got you covered. Go ahead and subscribe. 2022 this year. Got a whole nother vibe. Mose know it all. Mose know it all. Mose know it all. Tune in for the vibe. You don't know nothing, you don't know nothing, you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing, you don't know nothing, but I know that. You don't know nothing, you don't know nothing, you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing, you don't know nothing, but I know that.
Mose knows.
Good people, what's going on? Welcome back into the channel. Hold on, let me get my camera together. It wasn't right. Let me make sure it's straight. There we go. Good people, what's going on? Welcome back into the channel. It's Mose Knows. We're here. What we know, week 7. Listen, I thought I knew a lot. This season is quickly telling me that I might not know as much as I thought I did, and I got to relearn some things. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to figure out where we are in this NFL landscape because it's getting real scary out here. First, a few formalities. You're already here at the YouTube channel. If you are not a current subscriber, whether you are watching this live or you're watching a playback, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that like button. Drop a comment below on this video. It helps me tremendously. You guys don't know how much I really appreciate it. You can catch me on social media, Twitter and IG. What Mose Knows. All one word, all spelled out. No more periods, no more underscores. It's simple. WHATMOSEKNOWS. You can shoot me an email if you want to. what.mose.knows@gmail.com. And on TikTok, Mose Knows with a period at the end. You can find me on all of those social media networks. Greatly appreciate it. And I would also like to just go over one thing, taking a look at the comments. We got some people in here already. Shout out to Nate with the first comment. He said, did Wayne get his page back? Unfortunately, our brother Breezy did not get his page back. My brother Fair is in here. He says, no, Nate, please sub to the new one. That is a great segue to what I want to do. So I'm going to add this quickly to the stream just so that you guys can see it and have visual representation. Let me get this banner out of here. Okay, so when you go to YouTube and you type Wayne Breezy in the search bar, this is what you're going to see, okay? So you'll see his old channel. We were at 5,000 subscribers. Thank you to everybody who has unsubscribed so far. That's at 4.9 now. But the name changed to I'm Low Key, and there's this cartoon anime character as the logo. This is the old page. So what you want to do is you want to unsubscribe. You want to unsubscribe from that channel, and then you want to find the new Wayne Breezy channel. It'll say Wayne Breezy. As you see, we got to get the subscriber count up. We're at 513, 11 videos, and you'll see the WB Wayne Breezy 49ers logo here. So you'll want to subscribe to this channel, the new channel, and then you want to hit that bell icon. You want to hit those. You want to get that bell icon so that you get notified every time there's new content on the Wayne Breezy Entertainment Network, TWBEN. So when Wayne goes live for his call-in shows, the daily shows, when Nitty Gritty goes live on Monday nights, Overreaction Show, Sizzling Sundays, any type of content that goes up on the YouTube channel, you want to hit that bell icon and get subscribed. So unfortunate situation that happened, but we are following the lead of Breezy. We're not going to let this keep him down. We're not going to let this keep us down. We're going to keep chugging forward. It's an unfortunate setback. But one thing that I do want to say, all of you who have supported Wayne, who have supported Nitty Gritty Niners, you guys are absolutely amazing. We love and appreciate you so much. So just so that there isn't any confusion, if we can get the old channel back, great. If not, that's okay, because we're moving on. Breezy's got the new channel up. He's putting out content in the same pace that we have. And we just got to build back up to that 5K. But we've already reached 5K. The TWBN Wayne Breezy YouTube, we've already reached 5K. We've hit that goal. So now we've got to get back to where we were, and we got to take it beyond that. And that is going to take all of you guys. So again, we love and appreciate all of you. Let me jump into comments first, because I hate getting into the show and I got these comments stacked up. I got to get better at that. Right now, I'm a one-man show, but it's all good. We got T-Jack478. He says, what's up, fam? My brother, 49er Media, is in the building. 49er Laker for life is in the building. Memphis, Maine is in the building. Oh, my goodness. Let's go. Michael Payne is in the building. Oh, we get busy tonight. Renzo S is in the building. What's good? All my peoples. And, of course, brother, fair to God, in the building. What's going on, y'all? Man, let's get to it. I don't know what to say about this NFL season anymore. I'm at a loss for words. I have no idea, like, what is really going on. I mean, this is why we love the sport. Any Given Sunday, right? That there was a movie made with that title. Any Given Sunday, anything can happen. But like, come on, yo. Every Sunday, Any Given Sunday was like, it could happen, but normally it don't, but it could. Like, it's every week now. Every single week, somebody losing their mind. So let's go with the knockouts, the quick ones, the first round KOs that we can just get out the way. All right. What did we learn from Saints Cardinals? Not much of nothing. Saints ain't that good. Without Sean Payton, without Drew Brees, the defense is kind of up and down. Kyler Murray looked all right. He kind of got a little hot. Kyler got a little hot with Cliff Kingsbury. So Cliff needed this one. Cliff needed this one, because if the Cardinals fell to 2-5, his seat might have a little bit. His seat's still warm, but it ain't hot. So he needed that one. Really didn't learn much of anything. I mean, it was 42-34. There was a shootout game, a lot of turnovers, a lot of sloppy mistakes. Both of these teams aren't good. Moving to Sunday's games. That was a Thursday night game. Moving to Sunday's games. Bengals and Falcons. Bengals blew the doors off of this one, 35-17. Falcons tried to make a valiant comeback in the second quarter, but then put up no points in the second half. Joe Burrow went off for 481 yards, 3 touchdowns. I think this was the Cincinnati team that we were expecting to see in the first few weeks. I think because they had such a long season, you know, a long playoff run, making it to the Super Bowl, I think that kind of, you know, took them a little bit while to kind of like build their bodies back up, get the necessary rest that they need, and then to get back into, you know, regular season, midseason form. I think this is the Bengals team that we wanted to see early on in the season. Now they sit at 4-3. They're above 500. Falcons really aren't that good of a team, even though they beat my team. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But this is the Bengals team that we wanted to see. And we just need to be able that they can sustain this against better teams. Lions and Cowboys, the return of the Dak. That's what everybody was saying. Everybody always want to try to find cute little funny slogans. So return of the Mac. Instead of Mac, they put Dak. Yeah, I get it. Nah, it's cute. Whatever. I mean, he kind of struggled at first, you know, trying to, you know, get back into the swing of things, get back into football shape. But he was able to bring it home. Dallas looked okay, 24-6 against a team they should beat. Disappointed in the Detroit Lions. Most of the games this year they fought through. They tried to battle in each and every one of their games. They were actually winning at half 6-3, but Dallas made the necessary adjustments on defense, held them to 0 points in the second half. Lions sit at 1-5. They now have the worst record in the league. If the draft was tomorrow, they would have the number 1 overall pick. I don't know if that bodes well for Dan Campbell. I'm sure they'll probably give him 1 more year. Usually you get 3 years in the NFL, and if you don't make any headway, if you don't make any adjustments or moves that the front office deem as you going in the right direction, you're probably going to be out of here. So I like the team. I like the culture that Dan Campbell is instilling there. I just don't think they have all of the pieces, and sometimes that takes time. Colts Titans. What we learned is Matt Ryan got benched, and it wasn't injury related. So they putting the young guy in there, and a lot of teams are doing this. A lot of teams are going with the young guys and just seeing what they have. If they catch lightning in a bottle and they got somebody that really good that they can ride the hand with, well, then guess what? They got somebody good. But Matt Ryan was showing a decline, not able to put up points and lead this team. So the Colts are going for a spark. They're going with Sam Ehlinger. Titans, I expected them to play a little bit better, especially because the Colts are struggling. They're missing a few pieces. I mean, they rode Derrick Henry 30 carries for 128 yards, but for a 28-year-old running back who's a bruising running back who gets a lot of carries and is taking a lot of hits, I don't know if you want to continue to run him that way. So we'll have to see how Tennessee moves forward in that area. Let me see. We're going to move on down here. Browns-Ravens, divisional matchup. I think the Browns kept this a little bit closer than the Ravens would have liked to. Jacoby Brissett is a middle-of-the-road quarterback. So, you know, he kept them in the game. He can make a few plays. He was 22 of 27 for 258 yards, but the Ravens were able to keep him from throwing a touchdown. Shout out to Nick Chubb, helping my fantasy team out a lot. 16 carries, 91 yards and a touchdown. But they weren't able to get over the hump. The Ravens made enough plays. I think I am worried about the Baltimore Ravens. I expected them to be a much better team than what they're putting on the field right now. They do have a record above 500 at 4-3. But this is a little bit concerning. It seems like a lot of the teams that we expect to be, I expected to be dominant early just because of franchise history. They haven't been dominant. They haven't been able to kind of have that early season success because they are a normally dominant team. And we're waiting for them to get to this midseason form. But we're at week 7 going into week 8. Now we're kind of mid-season. So we should see some things turn around. So hopefully we do for the Ravens. Texans and Raiders. Raiders finally beat a team by a significant margin. Now it is the Texans. They're 1-4-1. They're not really a good team right now. But again, this is the Raiders team that we thought we would see. It looks like Josh McDaniels is wising up and making some changes to the way he calls plays, to the way he does things offensively, because you're seeing Josh Jacobs being featured a ton. 20 carries, 143 yards, and 3 touchdowns. They are leaning on the running game with Josh Jacobs. I think this is what the Ravens organization expected when they drafted the young man, albeit it was a different regime. But now they're seeing the fruits of what they expected him to be. And he's paying huge, huge dividends. He's part of the reason why I lost one of my fantasy. I don't even want to talk about that because I lost again this week and I shouldn't have. But, I mean, it is what it is. Moving on to Seahawks and the Chargers. Another disappointing team in the LA Chargers. I know they got injuries, okay? Joey Bosa's out with the groin injury. They just lost J.C. Jackson to a torn ACL. He's done for the remainder of the season. But, like, I expected this team to take the leap. Another year under Brandon Staley. Another year for Justin Herbert in this system. I know the offensive line is banged up too. I believe Rashawn Slater is still out. I believe center Corey Linsley is out. But again, another team that's sitting at 4-3 that I expected to be much, much better than this. And then the Seahawks on the road to put up 37. Geno is playing out of his mind. And this Seahawks team are getting really, really good contributions from two rookies. Kenneth Walker, the third on offense, 23 carries, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Tariq Woolen on defense, who likely will be defensive rookie of the year if he continues to play as well as he had through the first 7 weeks. But the Seahawks sit in first place in the NFC West. Like, nobody thought this was possible. No Russell Wilson, Geno Smith at quarterback, injuries to the running backs, offensive line is shaky. You lose Jamal Adams for the year. Maybe it wasn't Pete's fault. I'm just throwing it out there. Steelers at Dolphins. Dolphins get this one 16-10. Both teams scored in the first half. And then in the second half, it was like, we ain't showing up. We just want to get out of here. Miami trying to get back on track with Tua. He's been missing a few games. I think he needs to get back into rhythm with his guys. Finally starting to use Raheem Mostert, 16 carries, 79 yards in Miami. Miami sitting at 4-3. And they got the dub. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's not one of them. And then Monday night, Bears at Patriots. Messing my picks up. Bears wasn't supposed to go into Gillette Stadium and win that game. They wasn't supposed to do that. What the Patriots did to the Browns, who are a better team than the Bears, and I think right now, Jacoby Brissett is a better quarterback than Justin Fields just because of experience, not athleticism or tools or gifts, just purely off of experience. I say Jacoby Brissett is a better quarterback, and he has better weapons. He's got Nick Chubb. He's got Kareem Hunt, David Njoku, Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones. They got weapons. Their offensive line is straight. Belichick wasn't going to let his former quarterback, Jacoby Brissett, come in there and beat them. He wasn't going to lose to that guy. So for the Patriots to come out so flat, that shocked me a little bit. Belichick made the change. Mac Jones, sit on down. Zap attack. Bailey Zappi, come on in. He gave him a spark. I think they were down, 10-0, 13-0. Brought them back, put 14 on in the second. But then in the second half, Matt Eberflus made the necessary adjustments. It took 2 drives. It took a couple of drives. Eberflus and his defense weren't ready because they were preparing for Mac Jones. Belichick throws the curveball, brings in Zappi, but Eberflus makes the adjustments. A coach that makes adjustments at halftime. Kyle Shanahan. D'Amico Ryan. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I got this little thing in my throat. I think I got it from one of the kids. Coaches that make halftime adjustments. But he made the halftime adjustments. Patriots didn't put up any points in the second half. How many teams didn't score in the second half? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 teams did not score any points in the second half in week 7. Bro, what is going on in the NFL? What is really going on? All right, that's it for the knockouts. Let's come back to the comment section. Let's see what we got going on over here. I probably got to come back up a little bit. Where do we stop at? I think we stopped right here. Oh, that's a good question. I'm gonna have to look this up and get back to you. T-Jack says, who's upcoming in free agency should the Niners target for right tackle? That is a good question. And I might not have the time to look it up now, but I'm going to look it up. And if I don't address it on Mose Knows, I'm going to address it on NGNT. But that is a really, really good question. See, that's what I need. Where's my daughter at? Or my son. I need a secretary to write this stuff down. Free agent right tackle for the Niners. Now, look, if there isn't a tackle available, hear me out. He played both tackles in college. We moved him to guard. He seemed to play well at guard. And you know his motto is barbecue or mildew. So wherever he go, he going to barbecue it up. I think Spencer Burford has the athleticism and the mindset to play tackle. And if we got Trent on the left side, then that means Burford only has to play right tackle. I mean, if there isn't a right tackle in free agency that we can get, maybe we slide Burford the right tackle, and maybe we find another right guard. Maybe there's a better guard available than there's a tackle. So we bring in that guard, slide Burford outside the tackle, boom. But either way, McGlinchey got to go. Nate says blame Kyle. I do, partially. Not 100%, but some of this got to go on Kyle. Shout out to the sis Mariah, 49 Faithfully Podcast. If you are not followed or subscribed over on 49 Faithfully Podcast, please do that. Don't make me tell y'all again. I don't want to have to get mad. Y'all know I'm a big dude. I don't want to have to see y'all at the 49er Rush road trip and give you a wedgie and throw you out the party just for you to come back in and apologize. So just go over to 49 Faithfully Podcast on YouTube and subscribe. I don't want to get physical. I don't want to do that. Saints defense made the Cardinals look. They absolutely did. They absolutely did. Why are people crying over letting go of Tevin Coleman? Good question, media. I think people are upset because when Coleman was here prior to this season, he was successful in this offense. He knows Kyle's offense. He understands the lingo. He seems to have great field vision. He still has speed. He can catch the football out of the backfield. And then when we needed him to come in and play well because of all of the injuries that we had, he steps in against Carolina and is our best running back that game. So I understand that there's a lot of dynamics to, the situation. Yes, we have Christian McCaffrey. Yes, we have Jeff Wilson Jr. Eventually, Elijah Mitchell's coming back. We spent a third-round draft pick on Ty Davis-Price. We have Jordan Mason in the fold, who we still love. So that's 5. I know we still have Marlon Mack, but I think we might get rid of him as well. Maybe I would have cut me personally. I didn't see the news because I was doing some stuff with work today. I would have cut Marlon Mack and maybe moved Tevin Coleman to the practice squad. So if Coleman and Jordan Mason are on the practice squad, whatever the case may be, at least we got one veteran and then the rookie on the practice squad eventually for when Elijah Mitchell comes back, and it's CMC, JWJ, TDP, and Elijah Mitchell. So, and I mean, I feel like we should have kept Tico because all of our running backs got name abbreviations. We don't have one for Elijah Mitchell. I mean, you can call him E-Mitch, but, we got CMC, JWJ, TDP. I would have kept Tep because he's Tico. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Lions need Swift and St. Brown back. They really do. There are those are their 2 horses on the offense. And when those guys are out, I mean, even with those guys, sometimes Jared Goff looks inept, but without those guys, I don't know if he's an NFL quarterback. Yeah. OBJ to the Titans. They do need a receiver. No more Julio Jones. They traded away A.J. Brown, and Treylon Burks has not been who they thought he would be. Now you bring in an OBJ if he's healthy. He's a target for Tannehill. He's probably going to be Tannehill's number 1 target. He's going to open things up for Treylon Burks and the other wide receivers, and I think he'll open things up for the tight ends. Yeah, I mean, I think if Tennessee wants to compete, and they want to try to win their division and make it into the playoffs or even be able to compete for a wild card spot, I think OBJ is the move because offensively, they just don't have it. And it's because they don't have the guys on the outside that can be able to take some of the heat off of the running game. So I like it for the Titans. I don't know if I like it for OBJ, but I like it for the Titans. My cousin in the building, Terrence, what's up? Chargers are always going to charger. Listen, man. I know you saying this from experience. I just wanted it to be different because I'm a Herbert fan. I'm a Herbert fan. I'm a Khalil Mack fan. I'm a Asante Samuel Jr. fan. I'm a Derwin James fan. Like I wanted to be different, but I think you're right. NorCal Bill in the building. What's up, fam? Thank you for stopping by. Sacktown Izzy says, stop by to leave a like. I appreciate you, Sacktown. Throwing that thumbs up on the video. I really appreciate it. Really, really do. Thank you so much for taking the time to do that. He said, I thought it would be closer, but I took the Bears. Pats are terrible. I mean, yeah. But the way they just whooped up on the Browns, I'm thinking, okay, if y'all can do this to the Browns, y'all should be able to do this to the Bears at home. Like, the Bears are terrible too, media. Bears terrible too. Spider 1000 MTG says, I am tired, Mose, of our Niners playing like crap. I'm tired too. I'm really tired too because it's not necessary. This isn't the same team from 2017. If our quarterback was Blaine Gabbert or Brian Hoyer, if we had no running backs, no wide receivers, if this was pre-Debo and Ayuk and Kittle, I mean, I wouldn't be mad if our roster was terrible. And I know it's all hindsight, but put another quarterback on this roster. Are we 6-0 with Jalen Hurts? Are we 5-1, 6-0 with Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert? Shoot, I'll even go Kirk Cousins. Like, how many other quarterbacks in this league could you put on this roster? And the outcome of our season right now would be completely different. I think there's at least 10. There's at least 10 quarterbacks in this league right now on other teams that if you put them on the 49ers, we're not even talking. We don't have anything negative to say. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, this team is putting up 30, 40 points a game. Defense is number one in the league. We don't have any issues. We're not complaining. We're sitting here laughing at how bad we just beat the Chiefs. Or if they had Mahomes and we had Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, we're gloating because maybe we get that dub. Maybe it's a shootout. They put up 40-something. We put up 40. They put up 44. We put up 45, 48, 49. They put up 44, but we put up the 50 burger. And we're gloating about how good our team is because we have an elite quarterback. We have elite weapons around him, and we got a top defense in the league. That performance, giving up 44 points and 500 plus yards of offense, we not number one no more. I didn't look up to see where he was because I don't want to hurt my heart like that. I don't want to cause myself emotional damage. But I know we're not the number one defense in the league after that. I know that. My brother Breezy's in the building. Love you, bro. Know that. Riding with you till the wheels fall off. Love you, bro. 49er Media says Jack Conklin. I think his best days are behind him, but I think he's better than McGlinchey. Mose, in your opinion, who is more of a problem right now, Kyle or Jimmy? This is a good question. I love this question. I'm going to have to say Kyle. And here's why I'm going to say Kyle. I'm saying Kyle because we know who Jimmy is. Kyle knows who Jimmy is. That's why he traded those draft picks to move up to number 3 to ensure he got the quarterback that he wanted. Kyle knows that. So as the offensive play caller, you have to find ways to put your team in a better position to win. If you know you got to run the ball 30, 40 times, you have to know that this is the NFL and you're going up against the best talent in the world. Every run is not going to net you 5, 6, 7, 8 yards. I know you want to average 5 yards a carry, 6 yards a carry. That's a good day. But you average 5 or 6 yards a carry because you have 2 yards here, 3 yards here, 1 yard here, boom, 22. Another 2, 3, 4, boom, 17. But our formula is running the ball 25 or more times. And he said it before. I haven't heard him say it this year, but last year, every single press conference, we want to run the ball at least 30 times. If we can get 30 times, we can be really successful in this league. Run the ball, Kyle. I know you got to pass sometimes. And he has been scheming some stuff open. I think Debo has 8 drops this year. We all know the infamous drops that happened in the Atlanta game. I can't stand Jawan Jennings. And if I was on the coaching staff, if I wasn't the head coach or the GM that could cut him, if I'm wide receiver coach Leonard Hankerson, I'm saying he's not playing until he can demonstrate that he can catch every pass that's thrown to him. And then not only are you going to drop passes, but then you're going to make boneheaded mistakes on special teams and give a team an additional 15 yards. No, we're not doing that. So to me, Jawan Jennings is out. But Kyle has to put his team in better position. And if you know your quarterback has these deficiencies, you got to find a way around them. I think that's what good coaches do. If you look at Bill Belichick, that's what he's always been able to do. He's been able to get the best out of his players because he schemes around their abilities and what they can do and tries to limit their deficiencies. And conversely, on the opposite side, as the defensive-minded head coach, he wants to expose the opponent's deficiencies. Everything that he does from a defensive standpoint is to expose his opponent's deficiencies. But for his offense and his defense, we need to hide and mask our deficiencies as much as possible so they don't know where our weakness is at. Prime example. I know Kittle had a great game receiving, and I know we want to use him a lot more in the passing game. But why wasn't the plan switched when Kansas City moved Chris Jones from inside to outside? And they didn't move Chris Jones over Trent Williams' side. I'll have to run the tape back just to be sure, but I don't ever remember seeing Chris Jones one-on-one against Trent Williams. Guess where they put Chris Jones? They moved him from inside to outside right over Mike McGlinchey, and he bullied him all day long. Andy Reid knew that's where the weakness was. Forget Aaron Banks, Spencer Burford, Daniel Brunskill. They're rookies, but they're playing pretty well. The weakest link on that offensive line is number 69. He's not a good pass protector in the first place. And he's still not 100%. After every snap, he's hobbling, limping. He's trying to be a trooper and tough it out. But they knew that was the weak link. So as much as we needed Kittle offensively in the passing game, I think we could have used. I mean, we've seen other games where we eliminated Kittle from the passing game to help out pass rushers and to chip block. Why not give McGlinchey that help? So I have to put it on Kyle because as the coach, it's your responsibility to get it right, especially when he has authority over personnel. He has authority over who's on this team, who plays, who starts, all those kind of things. We understand what Jimmy's limitations are. You have to be able to scheme around that. 49er Niner Gang Podcast. Dion, what's going on, bro? Again, another one. Go over to Niner Gang Podcast on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell icon so that you get notified every time new content drops right there at Niner Gang Podcast. Come on, just stop doing that. Stop doing that. Okay? Just go over there, subscribe to the channel. Fear to God says, not a wedgie. They need to get over it. We added CMC. Absolutely. Media says Marlon Mack going to Denver. Appreciate that. So he's out of here. He got signed by the Broncos. So, okay, no Marlon Mack, no Tico. And then I'm assuming we'll probably bring Jordan Mason back up until Elijah Mitchell comes back. So it'll be CMC, JWJ, TDP, and Jordan Mason next week versus the Rams. And more than likely Elijah comes back after the bye week. So, okay. Shout out to E Nice 023. What's going on, man? Thank you so much for tuning in. He said, media says Pats are like terrible, terrible, terrible. Hurricane 747 in the building. I see you, bro. Hey, cuz. Listen, I'm going to hit you. We still got to have that conversation, sis. So I'm going to hit you right after this. I'm going to try to get off of here soon. We making good time, but I'm going to hit you right after this. Breezy said he'll take Cam Newton. Now, that's not the first time he said this. That is not the first time he said he'd take Cam Newton. I don't know if I'd take Cam. Because I've been watching Cam and his little podcast and the stuff that he be saying. I don't know if Cam going to be a good influence on Trey. But maybe he will be. Because Trey is a very humble young kid. Very mild-mannered. Maybe he need a little bit of edge to him. Maybe he need to be like Kyler Murray, where he can go to Kyle and be like, hey, yo, Kyle, shut up, bro. I'm not running that. I'm on the field. I'm seeing what's happening. I see what you tried to set up, but I see what they doing. And based off of my knowledge of the offense and my chemistry with Debo and Ayuk and Kittle and CMC and whatever, I got this, Kyle. I know what I'm doing, dog. Don't worry about me calling the audible. I called the audible because of what I saw. Now it got to work. He's got to do it, and it has to work. He can't do it and get sacked or throw an interception. Like, if he's going to do it, he got to make sure everybody's on the same page. Offensive line better understand the change in the protection. The running backs better understand the change in protection, or if they're going out on a route, and he's got to make the play work. But I feel like he needs some of that. Jermaine Jenkins, thank you so much for tuning in. Grant talking about a three-way trade. Mac Jones to Tampa, Brady to the Niners, and something else. So Mac Jones to Tampa, Brady to the Niners, and Jimmy back to the Patriots. Now, I mean, it's not going to happen, but in theory, I mean, three-way trade. Okay, Tampa, y'all get Mac Jones, you get a young quarterback. Y'all tried to draft a young quarterback in Kyle Trask from Florida. That didn't work. So here, y'all take Mac, Brady, send him to California. He wanted to be here anyway. And the Patriots, you'll get Jimmy Garoppolo because Bailey Zappe's good, but he showed in the second half once a team make adjustments that he's not quite ready yet. So Jimmy Garoppolo will be the bridge to Bailey Zappe. I mean, listen, it ain't going to happen, but I see the logic. Sid going to pound the table for this every single time. And I'm going to have to get Sid on the show. I got to find a time to fit it in his schedule. But I know he want to get on here and he want to vent and talk about just how bad Kyle is. He want Kyle going expeditiously, if I could use a Stephen A. Smith word. Let's see what else we got. Breezy says, trade Jimmy for a fourth to New England and sign Cam. See, I mean, that's why I said in that three-way trade scenario, Jimmy to New England, Mac to Tampa Bay, Tom to... It might work. It might work. Shout out to Willie Rodriguez, a new name that I see in the chat. Thank you so much for tuning in. He says, can we sign Sue and trade for Greedy Williams? I like the Greedy Williams trade. He's a corner that I've always liked. I do feel like the system in Cleveland doesn't fit him. I think he would fare better over here or even in another system. I do like the Greedy Williams trade. A lot of people have been saying sign Sue. One, I think he's clearly past his prime, and I don't think he has much or if anything left in the tank. And I don't know if he fits what we want to do in this locker room. I don't know. I'm sure he was there a little bit with Chris Kosaric. So, I mean, it makes sense because he knows the system. We'd have to see what he has left, but I don't know if that's much of anything. NorCal Bills, Kyle's decision-making has become really sus this season. It has. It really has. Breezy says Cam is just as accurate as Jimmy and can reunite with CMC. Well, wasn't he back in Carolina last year, or was CMC injured when he came back? Said lack of execution falls squarely in the coaching category. Listen, man, y'all running up the chat tonight. I love it. I can't keep up with it all, but y'all running up the chat tonight, and I appreciate it. I'm on a time schedule, and I want to get out of here. But listen, I appreciate all of this love in the chat, the conversations y'all having amongst yourselves, the questions y'all asking me. Listen, man, keep it up. Jermaine says we sound desperate. Yeah, I don't think we should be desperate. I agree with you. We sound desperate and we shouldn't sound desperate. I think it should be more. I think what Sid is talking about, it should be more holding the people accountable that need to be held accountable. There's nothing wrong with having accountability and holding the right people accountable. And right now, that's Kyle Shanahan. Right now, that's partially Jimmy Garoppolo. These are your leaders of the team. It's your head coach. It's your quarterback. And listen, they have to be held accountable. So yeah, less of sounding desperate and just more of holding the right people accountable. And the players are starting to do that. You know, you hear, the media talking about Brandon Ayuk's post-game press conference, George Kittle's post-game press conference, where they keep reiterating we have too many talented playmakers on this team to only be putting up 23 points. This team, they want to run. They want to go. They like, listen, I'm Ayuk, I'm Debo, I'm Kittle. We got CMC now. We got Trent on the line. Our defense is crazy. Bro, we should be putting up 40 points a game. We should be right there with the Bills. We should be right there with the Chiefs. We should be putting up 30, 35, 40 points a game. But we stuck barely making 20. That's a problem. That's a problem. All right, we here already, so let's talk about it. In my top 5, we got the Chiefs and the Niners. No, I didn't put this in the top 5 because I'm a Niner fan. I put this in the top 5 because what did we learn from this game? We learned what we talked about. We learned that the 49ers on paper are a really, really good football team. But the 49ers on the field don't seem to be living up to those same expectations. We see the difference in coaching. I got into a little bit of a back and forth with somebody on Twitter because, they said, the Chiefs were able to do that because they have an elite quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is an elite quarterback, 100%. Nothing about what Patrick Mahomes did on Sunday was elite. And why do I say that? Because he didn't have to be. Patrick Mahomes was elite in the Super Bowl that he beat us in. Patrick Mahomes was elite last year in the playoffs in that back and forth matchup against the Bills. Patrick Mahomes was elite in the Super Bowl that he lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, even though they didn't put any points up. They didn't score a touchdown in that game. He still had to be elite to try to do something. Patrick Mahomes didn't have to be elite Sunday. I seen players wide open. The touchdown to Juju, I'm like, we gave up at this point. And we got as close as, what was the score, 28-23? We got as close to 28-23. And then it was like, let them put up 16 more points in the fourth quarter. And that touchdown to Juju was like wide open over the middle of the field. Nobody can bring him down. MVS, wide open all day. Kelsey, wide open all day. He did not have to be elite to beat us. 25 of 34, 423 yards. He had the one interception. After that interception, though, he was damn near perfect. He didn't have to be elite. 49ers, absolutely great roster. Kyle Shanahan, outside of his script, is like a deer in headlights. I understand you want to ease Christian McCaffrey. I never understood that. Never understood that. And I can't equate my playing football to the NFL level. But whenever we got a good player, and I'm talking about in flag, we not waiting. Oh, let's make sure he understands the plays. Let's give him the risk coach, and let's only give him, a couple of snaps on all. If I know homie cook when he get on the field because he's a football player, playing, let him play. You gave him 10 touches on 20 snaps, and he was successful in those touches. Why go away from that? And what CMC was doing was opening up for Jeff Wilson Jr. Jeff Wilson had 7 carries for 54 yards. He was averaging 7.7 yards a carry. We just talked about how difficult it was, but he was able to do it. Why? Because CMC, the two-headed monster with him and CMC, was opening some of that stuff up. And you go away from it. Only 21 carries. And 3 of them don't count because 2 of them was Jimmy and 1 was Purdy. But yet he throws Garoppolo 37 times. Like, we trying to hit 25, and he's deliberately not hitting 25. Deliberately not hitting 25. Now, part of that, yes, I will give to you. Jimmy Garoppolo cannot be that bad. He cannot throw up a duck in the red zone after we just got a gift. And I was talking to Sid, and we were talking about how bad the offense was, and we had the punt, and Mitch got the punt off. Sky Moore bobbled it. Samuel Mowat recovered. And Sid said to me, and I quote, "Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good." And we got a gift because we were supposed to drive the ball downfield, maybe get a field goal, go into halftime up. But stupid mistakes, penalties, not being able to move the ball, we got to punt it back. We get a gift ball right there in the end. Why did we not see Christian McCaffrey in any goal line, red zone situations, mismatches with him in the slot or catching out of the backfield against a linebacker? Why didn't we see that? What's one of the most infamous plays from Carolina? Carolina, goal line situation against the Green Bay Packers. Clay Matthews, watch that wheel route. What does Cam Newton say? And this is probably why Breezy wants Cam Newton. Oh, you've been watching film, I see. That's funny. Watch this. And what happens? Christian McCaffrey comes out of the backfield like he's running a wheel, runs the angle route, Cam hits him, touchdown. Didn't see none of that. And you have to know your personnel. I gave Jimmy his blame, but now I'm going back to Kyle. You got to know your personnel, who you playing. You've been in this league long enough. He was a head coach with the Giants. He's been defensive coordinator with Kansas City. You know Steve Spagnuolo loves that zero blitz. You know he loves bringing the house. You had to think that on that play, he was coming. Or any point, he was coming. Why? Because Jimmy get happy feet when he's under pressure. And that's why it's on Kyle, because you got to know these things. It's funny. Kyle tries to be one step ahead, but he does it at the wrong time. Whenever he's trying to one up and be one step ahead, it's never at the right time, and he's always overthinking it. But in the moments where he should be thinking one step ahead, I know this blitz is coming sooner rather than later. What should I be looking for to know that it's coming? What's going to tip it off? Because they tip it off. Tell Jimmy, look for this. If you see it, change it to this. And have something that will counter that zero blitz. So, listen, man, we got to get it turned around. Kansas City looks good. They 5-2. We already know who they are. They're going to be in the playoffs. They're going to be a team to reckon with. And if we somehow find a way to turn it around, This could be a rematch of Super Bowl 54, and we're going to have to find a way to stop this team from putting up 44 points. Buffalo did it. Buffalo held them to 20 and won 24-20. I mean, we put up 23. That's part. It's blame to go around everywhere. I know the defense is banged up. I know the defense is hurt. I know the offense got to help them. But at some point, the defense can't let guys just be wide open down the middle of the field. So, another one in the top 5. I'm coming up on time, so let me try to run through these. Jets and Broncos. I got the Jets and Broncos in my top 5 merely because I'm disappointed for the Jets. They are sitting at 5-2. Robert Saleh has his team cooking. They are 4-0 in away games. They have not lost a road game yet. They were able to go a mile high, get a W, but unfortunately it comes at a cost. Star rookie running back Breece Hall tears his ACL. He's done for the season. And their second-year offensive lineman, Elijah Vera Tucker, who's played guard, and they moved him to right tackle. They also lost him for the season. So that's big. Now, they did make a trade for James Robinson. He'll come in and, he'll add a little bit something to this offense. But for a team that was playing so well, getting contributions from their rookies, buying into what Robert Saleh is trying to build there, it just sucks. Because I hope this doesn't, derail their season and they can continue to play well, because I was excited for them. No Russell Wilson. This Denver Broncos team is only holding on by a thread because of their defense, but they're sitting at 2-5, and it can get really ugly really fast. Giants and Jaguars. I'm glad I stuck with my gut. I picked the Giants this week. I thought this could be a trap game for them going on the road to Jacksonville. Again, I said it in my picks. Jacksonville is a good team. They play well early, but they're a young team, and they don't know how to close. They don't know how to finish games. And they started off hot. They played well early. They had a lead going into the fourth quarter. But Brian Daboll has this Giants team playing really, really well. Daniel Jones is playing game manager type football, not turning the ball over, not making silly mistakes. Saquon Barkley looks like the Saquon Barkley of old. Daniel Jones, 11 carries for 107 yards and a touchdown. Oh, okay. Okay, Danny Dimes. Cooking. Giants are 6-1. And this is why and listen, I know the NFL is in like this twilight zone. It's not what it's supposed to be. But this is why this is no excuse for the 49ers. A lot of people didn't even believe in Brian Daboll as a head coach because he's coming from Buffalo. He had Josh Allen. He had that great defense, and he didn't know how to run the ball. Well, what did Brian Daboll do? He only ran the ball 39 times for 236 yards at 6.1 a clip. So the head coach that's known for his running game can't seem to get above 25, but Brian Daboll can get 39 for 236, averaging 6.1. I don't know. Packers and Commanders. This is. I understand Aaron Rodgers doesn't have the same weapons. I feel like this also has a little bit to do with coaching because they're trying to have him force the ball when Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon should be running the ball more. Like, they only had 12 carries. What? Against Washington? Aaron Jones, 8 carries, A.J. Dillon, 4 carries, and Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball 35 times. Run the football. Against Taylor Heineke? Run the football. Run the ball. No way. No way the Commanders should have won this game. The 49ers got the same record as the Washington Commanders. Green Bay also sitting at 3-4. I don't know what they can do to turn it around. Maybe the Packers go after OBJ. Allen Lazard is clearly not a number one. He's a number 2, and rightfully so. Use that big body on third downs. Use that big body in the red zone. Let him, go up for the jump balls and the fades and all that kind of stuff. Sammy Watkins ain't it. Amari Rodgers, not it. Aaron Jones can't be your number 1. He had 9 catches for 53 yards and 2 touchdowns. Maybe they go after OBJ. I don't think this taints Aaron Rodgers' legacy, but it seems like he needs an elite wide receiver for their offense to be successful. And because they don't have that, they're losing 23-21 to the Commanders. So that's tough. And then the Bucs. What is... Again, I don't want to bring up anybody's personal life. But at some point, whatever's going on in his personal life, it seems to be seeping into the football life. And Tom, he doesn't look himself. I don't know if he's motivated like he normally is. I don't know if he's got that same hunger and fire, especially with all of the issues that's going on at home. And I think we talk about momentum. We talk about energy. What is the energy that he's bringing into that locker room? Because everything revolves around him as the leader, right? What is the energy? For them to only put up 3 points and give up 21 to a Carolina Panthers team that has no Baker Mayfield, just traded away Robbie Anderson and Christian McCaffrey, that's inexcusable. The defense didn't show up in this game. The offense didn't show up in this game. It was absolutely come on. Come on, Razor. I can't put that on the screen, Rocky Mountain Razorback, but it's something like that. It's something like that because, it's just not looking good. The Buccaneers are also sitting at 3-4. These are teams that we thought, okay, Buccaneers, they're running away with this division. Green Bay, they're running away with this division. 49ers should run away with this division. It's not happening. And this is the current NFL landscape that we're in. So, listen, that's going to do it. That's going to end it for Mose on this Week 7 edition of What We Know. We probably won't do a What We Know for Week 8 because after Week 8, that is the time where we will have our family, our brother, Jesse Naylor on the show, where we will be doing our third. So we did one show before the season. We did a quarterly review. So this is our mid-season review. 8 weeks in, we're doing our mid-season review. Me and Jesse are going to chop it up together. So it won't just be me on the screen. It'll be me. It'll be Jesse. We'll be talking about the current NFL landscape. We'll take a look at some of our early season predictions and where we're sitting now. With those predictions, our teams doing right by us? Are they doing wrong by us? Most of them are doing wrong by us. But me and Jesse will chop it up for our mid-season review just to kind of make sense of it all. But I will be back with you all Thursday evening, 7 p.m. for Mose Knows Fantasy. We got to get these fantasy lineups right. The second week of bye weeks, I told the teams that was on the bye week 7, that was tough. Eagles, Vikings, Rams, Bills. I lost simply because I didn't have a quarterback. In this league, I didn't have a backup quarterback. Had to sit Josh Allen. There's nobody on the waiver wire that I wanted to get. I should have got Andy Dalton because he put up a lot of points on Thursday night, but I'm kind of skeptical of starting Thursday night quarterbacks. But I went with Ryan Tannehill thinking, okay, the Colts defense is not that good. Maybe Ryan Tannehill will be able to do something coming off a bye. But I forgot what I just talked about. He don't have no weapons on the outside. So Tannehill only got me 3 points. So we're going to try to do better this week, help y'all. We'll figure out who's on a bye, what players that you got to sit, who you got to find replacements for. Again, that'll be Thursday night, 7 p.m. right here on Mose Knows. I love and appreciate everybody who tuned in, everybody who's in the chat. I love you. I appreciate you so much. Be easy. Have a good evening. Have a great day tomorrow. And I'll catch y'all Thursday night. Peace.